end up working out well for you. The one fix that you have to do for that is just right click OBS and then run it as an administrator. You don't have to always do this, and I'm not going to do this when I open up OBS right now, but on the chance that the settings that I show you guys in a second don't work well for you, running it as an administrator and then trying to record will work perfectly. So I'm just going to open it normally. No way, I'm on TV! Hey guys! Alright, I'm just messing around. That was such a stupid joke. Anyways, when you open up OBS for the first time, or really just whenever, the first thing you're going to see is going to be your scenes right here and your sources right here. Since this is just like a recording settings video, I don't want to spend too much time covering what scenes and sources are, but just to summarize it, your scenes are like the different layouts that you can have for like your viewer to see. It's pretty straightforward. You can have one for like recording gameplay with the face cam, kind of like this scene right here, and then you can just have one with like your face cam completely. Obviously it's totally personal preference for what you want in your recording. But anyways, moving on from that, like your sources are just like the random sources that you'll have in your like recording or in your scene. So like right here I have my socials, this thing right here I have my face cam right here, and then I actually have like the monitor recording in the background. It's pretty straightforward. Of course, it's going to be completely different for whatever you want to do in your recording. So of course, feel free to play around with your like scenes and sources until you have like a scene that you really like. But since this is a settings video for like OBS recording settings, let's just jump straight into the settings. So I'm going to hit the settings button right here. And the first tab that we're going to see is going to be the general tab right here. Honestly, there's not really anything important here other than being able to change your theme from the system one right here, from system to dark, which honestly looks way cooler. Highly recommend you guys use it. It's honestly much easier on the eyes too, so you can hit apply here, and then everything else like here is just personal preference. It doesn't really affect the quality of your recordings, which is exactly what this video is about. So because of that, let's go ahead and head over to the video tab right here, because it's very important, and then after down here will be the recording settings. So the numbers here on my screen are probably going to be different from what you have on your screen, but don't forcefully try to copy mine. It's more than okay if yours are different. So for your base canvas resolution, which is going to be the first one right here, this is what your monitor's resolution is. So because I have a 1440p monitor, my resolution has 1440p in it, as you can see right here. Almost all of you will have a 1080p monitor, so it's probably going to be this one right here, and that's most likely going to be your number like by default. Realistically speaking though, just pick the number that's at the highest of the drop down menu, because that's more than likely going to be your monitor's default resolution. So for me it's 1440p, but for most of you guys it will be 1920 x 1080. So the output scale resolution is the resolution that your final file will be saved as. So this right here is what your final file is going to be saved as. So let's say for example that you play your games in 1080p. So base canvas resolution is always what you play in, or like what your monitor's resolution is. So let me just quickly change mine to match up with what most of you guys probably have. So there you go, mine is now 1920 x 1080. So let's say that I play my games in 1080p, but I want my final recording to be in 720p. All I have to do is change my output scale resolution from 1080 down to 720, and I can do that by just looking for the value that has 720 as the last two digits of it. So this is going to be 1280 x 720. And sorry if I'm talking too fast, but let me quickly break down what I just did. So we'll be recording our files in 1080p, but the final recording will come out as 720p, if that makes sense. And honestly, if at any point you get confused during the tutorial, just drop a comment down in the comment section below and I'll try to get back to you as many as I can. Or feel free to tweet me on Twitter. I'll have my Twitter on the screen right now, or you can DM me, and honestly I'll do my best to get back to you and try to help you out. I know that recording on OBS can be frustrating at times, so trust me, I'm here to help you guys out, so feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. But anyways, like I said before, I personally play all of my games and do all my recordings in 1440p because that's like what my monitor resolution is. I'm gonna downscale that to 1080p, so that's usually what I upload all my YouTube videos in. Even if you check the resolution on this YouTube video right now, it will be in 1080p. But honestly, almost all of you will be doing 1080p for both base canvas resolution and output scale resolution. But if you do have a lower end PC, then I definitely recommend keeping the second one, which is the output scale resolution, at 720p. Anyways, moving on from that, we have our downscale filter, and this basically makes your image sharper in your recordings. So I highly recommend keeping this at the max. But if you do have a lower end PC, then lowering it one by one will definitely help you stabilize your quality. Just lower it once, try to do a test recording and see how it works, and just keep going from there until you find the sweet spot. So I'm going to keep this at length fills, sharp and experience. So let's click that. And then next up we have our FPS values. So keep this at common FPS values, and then make this 60 FPS. When you have it at 60 FPS, it will definitely result in a smooth quality recording. If you have a lower end machine, then I highly recommend lowering this from 60 down to 30, but since I don't, I'm just going to keep it at 60, and then you can hit apply, and we should be good to go. Anyways, the one thing I do want to mention though before we move on to the recording settings is please don't forcefully try to copy my base canvas resolution. Just because mine is 2560 x 1440 does not mean that you have to forcefully make yours that. Honestly, the chances are almost all of you will be doing 1920 x 1080 for literally both the base canvas resolution and the output scale resolution. So anyways, I'm going to change this back to 1440p, then I'm going to hit apply, and then from there we can move on to the output tab. Now this is where we're going to be able to adjust the settings to have the best OBS recording settings in 2020. If you're very much a beginner to all of this and have no idea what's going on in the video, then you can actually have an easy configuration by changing your output mode from advanced to simple. And once you've done that, on the bottom you'll see your recording settings. For those of you who are looking for the like super advanced recording settings, just trust me, that will come in just a couple of seconds. I just want to break this down for like the beginners, and then we can move on to the more advanced tips. So first things first is your recording path. This is actually going to be where your videos will be saved, so be sure to pick a hard drive that has enough space. I definitely recommend going onto like maybe your desktop or like wherever you want to save your videos, and just make a new folder called like OBS recordings, maybe something like this. There you go, and then I can just double click that, hit select folder, and then every recording that I do on OBS will get saved onto my desktop in this folder right here. Now moving on from our recording path, we have our recording quality, and honestly changing this to high quality typically works very well for most users, but if you're certain that you have a very good PC, then feel free to change it to indistinguishable quality. But just know that the more you raise the quality, the larger file size your recording will be, and that will end up taking up more space on your hard drive faster. So I'm going to keep this at high quality because I think that works very well for honestly anyone who's watching the video. Now next up we have our recording format, and for this personally I usually like to keep mine at MP4 because it works very well with basically any video editing software out there. A lot of people though really like to use FLV because it's nice for being able to recover files